Imagine if some of the foods already sitting in your kitchen could help your body protect itself, support fat loss, and strengthen long-term health as you age. Not through extreme diets or magic pills, but by working with how your body is designed to heal. Today we're talking about 6 simple food hacks inspired by the research of Dr. William Li, and how men over 50 can use everyday nutrition and lifestyle habits to feel stronger, leaner, and more resilient. After 50, many men start noticing changes they didn't ask for. Energy drops, belly fat becomes harder to lose, recovery takes longer, and blood sugar, blood pressure, or cholesterol may start creeping up. The immune system also isn't as sharp as it used to be, which matters because our bodies are constantly fighting inflammation and abnormal cell growth. Aging doesn't mean decline is inevitable, but it does mean we need to be more intentional. What you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress all begin to matter more than ever. Dr. William Li's work focuses on how food can support the body's natural defense systems, especially the immune system in the process that controls how blood vessels grow in the body. When that system is balanced, healthy tissues get what they need, and unhealthy processes are less likely to thrive. So let's talk about 6 food-based habits that fit into a realistic, healthy lifestyle. First, think about adding more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. These vegetables contain natural compounds that support detox pathways in the body and help manage inflammation. For men over 50, this matters because chronic inflammation is linked to heart issues, joint pain, and weight gain. You don't need to live on salads. Even lightly steamed broccoli with olive oil and spices a few times a week can make a difference. Second, berries are a powerful upgrade to your daily routine. Blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries are rich in natural plant compounds that support immune health and blood vessel balance. They're also lower in sugar than many fruits, which helps with fat control and blood sugar management. Swap dessert a few nights a week for a bowl of berries with plain yogurt or nuts, and you're supporting both metabolism and overall health. Third, green tea is a simple habit with big upside. It contains natural antioxidants that support the body's defense systems and may help with fat metabolism. For men who feel sluggish in the afternoon or rely on sugary drinks, replacing one beverage a day with green tea can improve focus without the crash. It also supports hydration, which becomes more important as we age. Fourth, tomatoes, especially cooked tomatoes, are a smart addition. They contain lycopene, a compound linked to prostate and heart health, both major concerns for men after 50. Cooking tomatoes in a bit of healthy fat like olive oil actually increases lycopene absorption. Think tomato-based sauces, soups, or even roasted tomatoes alongside lean protein. Fifth, fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, or mackerel provide omega-3 fats that help calm inflammation and support heart and metabolic health. Many men struggle with joint stiffness or slow recovery as they age, and omega-3s can help support mobility. Aim for fish a couple of times a week, grilled or baked, not fried. Sixth, dark chocolate with high cocoa content can be more than just a treat. In moderation, it provides natural compounds that support circulation and reduce oxidative stress. A small square after a meal can satisfy cravings and prevent overeating, which helps with fat control over time. Now, food alone isn't the full picture. A healthy lifestyle after 50 is about stacking small, consistent habits. Regular movement is essential, especially strength training and walking. Muscle mass naturally declines with age, and maintaining it supports metabolism, balance, and independence. You don't need to train like an athlete, just move your body most days. Sleep is another major factor. Poor sleep increases hunger hormones, slows fat loss, and weakens immune function. Prioritize a regular sleep schedule, limit late-night screens, and create a wind-down routine. Even small improvements in sleep can dramatically improve how you feel during the day. Stress management also plays a role. Chronic stress raises inflammation and encourages fat storage, especially around the abdomen. Simple habits like deep breathing, time outdoors, prayer, or meditation, and staying socially connected can support mental and physical health. The big takeaway is this: aging doesn't mean giving up control. By choosing foods that support your body's natural defenses and pairing them with smart lifestyle habits, you give yourself a better chance to stay strong, lean, and healthy for years to come. Start small, stay consistent, and let your daily choices work for you, not against you. Food has a direct influence on how the body protects, repairs, and regulates itself, especially as men move past the age of 50. This is not about food acting like medicine in a dramatic or instant way, but about food supplying signals and compounds that help the body's built-in defense systems work the way they were designed to. Every day, the body is managing inflammation, repairing damaged cells, controlling blood sugar, regulating fat storage, and keeping abnormal cell activity in check. These processes don't stop with age, but they do become less efficient, which is why what you eat starts to matter more than how much you eat. One of the most important systems influenced by food is the immune system. Many people think of immunity only in terms of avoiding infections, but it plays a much bigger role. The immune system constantly monitors the body, clearing out damaged cells, repairing tissues, and maintaining balance. As men age, immune response often becomes weaker or more chaotic, leading to low-grade inflammation that never fully shuts off. This kind of chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease, joint pain, insulin resistance, weight gain, and many age-related conditions. Certain foods contain natural compounds that help calm unnecessary inflammation while still supporting immune strength. Plant-based foods are especially powerful in this regard. Vegetables, fruits, herbs, and teas contain protective compounds that act like communication signals for cells. These compounds don't replace the immune system, they guide it. For example, foods like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower contain substances that support the body's detox pathways, helping the liver break down harmful compounds and reduce cellular stress. When detox pathways work efficiently, inflammation decreases and metabolic health improves. This is critical for men over 50, as slower detoxification can contribute to fatigue, brain fog, and stubborn weight gain. Another key area where food plays a role is in the regulation of blood vessels. The body constantly grows and trims blood vessels to support healthy tissues. When this process is balanced, organs receive oxygen and nutrients efficiently. When it becomes unbalanced, unhealthy tissues may receive more resources than they should. Certain foods help maintain this balance by supporting healthy circulation and limiting excessive vessel growth where it isn't needed. Berries, green tea, and dark chocolate contain natural compounds that support this regulatory process, helping maintain overall tissue health without stressing the system. Fat metabolism is also heavily influenced by food quality, rather than just calorie quantity. As testosterone levels gradually decline with age, men often experience a shift in how fat is stored, particularly around the abdomen. This isn't just a cosmetic issue. Abdominal fat is metabolically active and contributes to inflammation and insulin resistance. Foods that support insulin sensitivity and reduce oxidative stress help the body use energy more efficiently instead of storing it as fat. This is why diets focused solely on restriction often fail long-term, while diets focused on nutrient-dense foods tend to produce more sustainable results. Protein intake remains important, but the source and balance matter. Lean proteins combined with plant-based foods create a metabolic environment that supports muscle maintenance without overloading the system. Muscle tissue plays a major role in blood sugar control and metabolic health. When muscle mass declines, fat gain becomes easier and energy levels drop. Foods rich in omega-3 fats, such as fatty fish, support muscle recovery and joint health while also reducing inflammation. This makes it easier to stay active, which further reinforces metabolic balance. The gut also plays a central role in how food influences health. The digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria that interact directly with the immune system. As men age, gut diversity often decreases, especially with diets high in processed foods and low in fiber. A less diverse gut microbiome is linked to inflammation, weakened immunity, and poor nutrient absorption. Foods like vegetables, berries, legumes, and fermented products feed beneficial bacteria, allowing them to produce compounds that strengthen the gut lining and support immune regulation. A healthier gut improves how the body responds to food, stress, and environmental challenges. Blood sugar control becomes another major concern after 50. Even men who have never had issues with glucose regulation may notice increased cravings, energy crashes, or weight gain. Foods that slow digestion and reduce rapid spikes in blood sugar help protect insulin sensitivity. Fiber-rich foods, healthy fats, and natural antioxidants work together to stabilize energy levels throughout the day. This not only supports fat loss, but also protects brain health and cardiovascular function. The body is also constantly dealing with oxidative stress, which is damage caused by normal metabolism, environmental exposure, and aging itself. While oxidative stress is unavoidable, excessive levels accelerate aging and disease. Antioxidant-rich foods help neutralize this stress without shutting down essential processes. Unlike supplements that deliver isolated compounds in unnatural doses, whole foods provide a balanced mix that the body can regulate naturally. This balance is especially important for older men whose systems may be more sensitive to extremes. Another often overlooked factor is how food influences hormones beyond testosterone. Hormones related to hunger, fullness, stress, and sleep are all affected by diet. Diets high in refined carbohydrates and low in nutrients can disrupt these signals, leading to overeating and poor recovery. Nutrient-dense foods support stable hormone signaling, making it easier to maintain a healthy weight without constant willpower. This shift from control to cooperation is one of the most powerful benefits of using food to support the body's defenses. Inflammation related to joints and connective tissue is another area where food choices matter. Many men accept joint stiffness and discomfort as unavoidable signs of aging, but inflammation is a major contributor. Foods rich in omega-3 fats, polyphenols, and minerals support joint lubrication and tissue repair. When inflammation is reduced, mobility improves, making regular movement more enjoyable and sustainable. Movement itself further reduces inflammation, creating a positive feedback loop. Clarity and mood are also connected to food-driven defense systems. Chronic inflammation and blood sugar instability affect brain function, leading to irritability, poor focus, and low motivation. Foods that support circulation and reduce oxidative stress improve blood flow to the brain, supporting cognition and emotional balance. This becomes increasingly important as men age and face higher risks of cognitive decline. A diet that supports brain health also supports decision-making, consistency, and long-term adherence to healthy habits. Food also influences how the body responds to stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which promote fat storage and suppress immune function. Certain foods help regulate stress responses by supporting adrenal health and neurotransmitter balance. While food alone cannot eliminate stress, it can reduce how damaging stress becomes over time. This is especially relevant for men who carry work, family, and financial responsibilities well into later life. The idea of using food to support the body's natural defenses is not about perfection. It's about direction. Each meal is an opportunity to either add to the body's burden or reduce it. Over time, these small decisions shape how the body ages. Men over 50% often feel frustrated because they use the same strategies that worked in their 30s and 40s and see fewer results. The solution is not more restriction or intensity, but smarter support. Whole foods provide information as much as they provide calories. They tell the body when to repair, when to store, when to release energy, and when to calm inflammation. This information becomes more valuable with age when systems are less forgiving of poor input. By choosing foods that align with the body's natural processes, men can support immunity, metabolic health, and long-term resilience without extreme measures. This approach also reduces reliance on short-term fixes. When the body's defense systems are supported consistently, energy becomes more stable, cravings decrease, and recovery improves. This makes healthy living feel less like a struggle and more like a natural extension of daily life. Over time, the cumulative effect of these choices becomes visible not only in body composition but in stamina, mental clarity, and overall confidence. Food is not a single solution, but it is a foundational tool. It works quietly and steadily, influencing thousands of processes at once. When men understand that food can activate and support the body's own protective systems, the focus shifts from fighting aging to working with the body. This mindset change alone can improve consistency and long-term outcomes, especially during a stage of life where sustainability matters more than speed. As men move past the age of 50, physical and mental changes often appear gradually, making them easy to ignore at first. Energy levels may dip, recovery from physical activity takes longer, sleep becomes lighter, and fat seems to settle around the midsection despite no major changes in eating habits. These shifts can feel frustrating, especially for men who were active and resilient earlier in life. However, these challenges are not signs that health is slipping out of reach. They are signals that the body now responds differently and needs a more thoughtful approach, rather than the methods that worked in younger years. One of the most common challenges after 50 is declining energy. This is often blamed on age alone, but in reality, it is usually the result of multiple factors working together. Muscle mass naturally decreases with age, reducing metabolic efficiency and endurance. Hormonal changes affect how the body uses fuel, and poor sleep quality compounds the problem. Add stress, long work hours, and inconsistent eating patterns, and the body struggles to maintain steady energy. The solution is not stimulants or extreme routines, but restoring balance through daily habits that support recovery and stable metabolism. Another major concern is stubborn weight gain, particularly around the abdomen. This type of fat is closely linked to insulin resistance and chronic inflammation. As insulin sensitivity declines, the body becomes more likely to store excess energy as fat rather than using it efficiently. Many men respond by eating less or skipping meals, but this often backfires by slowing metabolism further and increasing stress hormones. A better approach involves consistent, nutrient-dense meals, regular movement, and sufficient rest to restore metabolic balance. Immune function also changes with age. The immune system becomes less precise, sometimes reacting too strongly and at other times not strongly enough. This imbalance contributes to chronic inflammation, which underlies many age-related conditions. Frequent colds, slower healing, joint discomfort, and digestive issues can all be signs that immune regulation is struggling. Lifestyle habits such as sleep, nutrition, and stress management have a direct influence on immune balance, making them essential tools rather than optional extras. Sleep disturbances are another widespread issue after 50. Men may fall asleep easily but wake up too early, or they may struggle with restless nights that leave them tired despite spending enough time in bed. Poor sleep disrupts hormones that regulate appetite, blood sugar, and fat storage. It also weakens immune defenses and slows muscle recovery. Improving sleep quality often requires adjustments to evening routines, light exposure, meal timing, and stress levels rather than medication alone. Joint stiffness and reduced mobility are often accepted as unavoidable parts of aging, but they are strongly influenced by lifestyle. Inflammation, dehydration, poor circulation, and lack of movement all contribute to joint discomfort. When movement becomes painful, activity levels drop, leading to further muscle loss and metabolic decline. Gentle, consistent movement combined with anti-inflammatory nutrition can significantly improve mobility and reduce discomfort, making it easier to stay active over time. Mental and emotional health also deserves attention. Men over 50 often face increased responsibilities, career pressure, family obligations, and concerns about the future. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which interfere with muscle maintenance, fat metabolism, and immune function. Stress also affects sleep and increases cravings for quick energy foods. Managing stress through realistic practices such as regular walks, breathing exercises, social connection, and time away from screens helps protect both physical and mental health. Cardiovascular health becomes a more visible concern at this stage of life. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and circulation are influenced by diet, activity, and stress levels accumulated over decades. While genetics play a role, daily habits have a powerful impact on how these risk factors develop. Regular movement, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep support healthy blood vessels and heart function, reducing long-term risk without extreme interventions. Another challenge many men face is slower recovery from exercise or physical work. Activities that once felt easy may now lead to lingering soreness or fatigue. This often leads men to reduce activity, but inactivity accelerates decline. The key is adjusting intensity and prioritizing recovery rather than stopping movement altogether. Strength training with proper rest, light cardiovascular activity, stretching, and hydration all support recovery and preserve function. Digestive changes are also common after 50. Reduced stomach acid, slower digestion, and changes in gut bacteria can lead to bloating, discomfort, and poor nutrient absorption. These issues affect energy levels and immune health. Simple lifestyle adjustments, such as eating slowly, choosing whole foods, staying hydrated, and including fiber-rich foods, can improve digestion and overall well-being. Hormonal balance extends beyond testosterone. Hormones that regulate hunger, fullness, sleep, and stress all shift with age. When these signals are disrupted, men may feel constantly hungry, tired, or unmotivated. Consistent daily routines help restore these signals, making healthy choices feel more natural rather than forced. Regular meal timing, exposure to daylight, physical activity, and sleep schedules all support hormonal rhythm. Many men also struggle with motivation as they age. Why, if results come more slowly than before? This can lead to frustration and inconsistency. Recognizing that progress after 50 is measured differently helps reset expectations. Improvements in energy, mobility, sleep, and mental clarity are just as important as changes on the scale. When men focus on how they feel rather than chasing quick results, Adherence improves naturally. Social habits also influence health outcomes. Isolation, reduced physical activity, and irregular routines can accelerate decline. Staying socially connected, sharing meals, walking with friends, or participating in group activities supports mental health and encourages movement. These seemingly small factors have a measurable impact on longevity and quality of life. The idea that aging challenges are manageable begins with understanding that decline is not automatic. The body remains adaptable well into later life. Muscles respond to training, metabolism responds to nutrition, and the immune system responds to rest and stress management. While recovery may be slower, adaptation is still possible with consistency. Many men fall into the trap of all or nothing thinking, believing they must follow strict routines or give up entirely. This mindset often leads to burnout. Sustainable habits work because they fit into real life. Walking regularly, eating balanced meals most of the time, sleeping adequately, and managing stress create a foundation that supports health without constant effort. Another important aspect is recognizing warning signs early. Persistent fatigue, rapid weight gain, poor sleep, and frequent illness are signals that lifestyle adjustments are needed. Addressing these signs early prevents more serious issues later. Small changes made consistently are more effective than drastic changes made briefly. Movement does not need to be intense to be effective. Regular walking improves circulation, blood sugar control, and mental clarity. Strength training preserves muscle and bone density, reducing the risk of injury and supporting independence. Flexibility and balance exercises improve mobility and confidence. Together, these activities support long-term function rather than short-term performance. Nutrition supports these efforts by providing the raw materials for repair and regulation. Whole foods rich in nutrients support immune function, hormone balance, and energy production. Consistency matters more than perfection. Occasional indulgences do not undo progress, but chronic poor habits accumulate over time. Sleep acts as a force multiplier for all other habits. Without adequate sleep, exercise recovery slows, cravings increase, and stress tolerance decreases. Prioritizing sleep creates a positive cascade effect across all systems. Even modest improvements in sleep duration and quality can produce noticeable benefits. Stress management ties everything together. Chronic stress undermines nearly every aspect of health. Learning to recognize stress triggers and respond with calming practices reduces its long-term impact. This supports immune balance, metabolic health, and emotional well-being. Understanding that aging challenges are manageable shifts the focus from fear to control. Men who adopt this perspective are more likely to stay consistent and proactive. They stop chasing quick fixes and start building habits that support health over decades rather than months. This approach respects the reality of aging without surrendering to it. The body may change, but it continues to respond to care, movement, nourishment, and rest. By addressing common challenges with practical, sustainable habits, men over 50 can maintain strength, clarity, and resilience while continuing to engage fully with life. Gave me 12 image prompt according to script and sequence.